Hi guys, these are the notes for RAD 7. So let's start figuring these out. That's going to be 2 times 4 minus 3 times 5, which is 8 minus 15 or negative 7. This one, so you have to think, okay, this is third root of 125 x to the 6th, and then it's to the 4th. So let's take the third root of this. Third root of 125 is 5, and then third root of x to the 6th, 3 goes in 6 twice, but we still are raised to the 4th power. So then 5 to the 4th power is going to be 625 x to the 8th, multiply the exponents. Okay, so looks like we want the square root of this. So I have 4x to the 2/3, and then I have 3, and then I'm going to multiply 4/3 times 1/2. Reduce the fraction first. So that's going to be x to the 2/3. And then we can multiply. That's 12. We're going to add the exponents. So 2/3 plus 2/3 is 4/3. And there's your answer. That's a little tricky. You can skip over those, fill in the blanks. Let's go ahead and solve this now. We have something called an extraneous solution. That means that once we solve it, we have to plug our answer back in to make sure it does work. That happens a lot of times with square roots. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to square both sides. And then I'm going to add 2, so I get 11. So is 11 minus 2, that's going to give you 9. And what is the square root of 9? 3. And the answer is yes. So this answer works. It's not an extraneous solution. This one I'll square both sides first. Subtract 2 from both sides, so I get to 47. 47 plus 2 is 49. Square root of 49 is 7, so that works. So we haven't seen any extraneous solutions yet, but we will. So this is going to give me 3x plus 4 equals 5 squared, which is 25. Subtract 4 from both sides. Divide each side by 3. So is 7 times 3, that's 21. 21 plus 4 is 25. Square root of 25, 5, yes. This one I want to raise each side to the 3rd power, so I'm going to get x minus 3 equals 2 to the 3rd, so 2, 4, 8. Add 11 to both sides. So let's see if I plug 11 in, I get 11 minus 3 is 8. Third root of 8 is 2, so that works. Okay, so we haven't seen any extraneous solutions yet. This one I'm going to square both sides, so then I'm going to get x squared is equal to positive 9 because I'm squaring the negative 3. If I plug that back in, square root of 9 is 3, not negative 3. So this does not work. That's an extraneous solution. This one I'm going to raise both sides to the 3rd power, so I'm going to get x minus 1. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is negative 8. We're going to add 1 to both sides. I get negative 7. Is negative 7 minus 1, that's negative 8. Third root of negative 8 is indeed negative 2, so that is not an extraneous solution. Normally, an extraneous solution will take place with square roots or 4th roots or things like that. Number 7, let's go ahead and add 5 to both sides. So that's going to give me 4. I'm going to square both sides. So that's going to give me x plus 2 is equal to 16. Subtract that, I get 14. Let's see, 14 plus 2 is 16. 16. Let's see. 16, square root of 16 is 4. 4 minus 5, that's equal to negative 1. That works. This one, we want to subtract 1 from both sides first. Divide each side by 8. Or, excuse me, divide both sides by 2. That's going to give me 4. Raised to the 3rd, raised to the 3rd. So I'm going to get x plus 5 is equal to 64. Subtract 5 from both sides, that gives me 59. 59 plus 5 is 64. The 3rd root is 64. It's 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 1 is 9, so that works. We're going to divide both sides by 5 first. So I'm going to get to be a 3. And I have the 4th root of that, so let's think about what that really is. So if I raise each side to the 4th power, that's going to give me x squared. That's going to give me 81. 4th root of 81 is 3. 3 times 5 is 15. That works. Subtract 4 from both sides. So it's -4. Divide each side by 2. So I'm going to get to -2. Raise both sides to the 5th power. That's going to give me -32. Use your calculator on that. Is the 5th root of -32 is equal to -2? Yes. -2 times the outside 2 is -4. -4 plus. That gives me an answer of 0. Don't forget that negative sign in there. Now I have a radical on both sides, so I'm just going to square both sides. So I'm going to get 2x plus 1 and x plus 2. I'm going to subtract x from both sides, and I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. So that's going to give me 2 plus 1, which is 2, 2 plus, and then 2 plus 1 is 3. I get root 3 on both sides. That works. Square both sides here. I get 1 minus x is equal to 3x plus 17. Let's add x to both sides and subtract 17. So divide each side by 4. So I'm going to get -4 is equal to x. Does this work? So 1 minus -4 is 5. Square root of 5 over here. And that's going to give me, excuse me. That gives me a -√5, doesn't it? Oh, no, it gives me +5, because there's negative in it. That's going to give me -12 plus 17. That's also √5. That works for our answer. Yeah, we'll go ahead and work out this worksheet as well. Make sure like you're trying to practice it, so double check it. So I'm going to square both sides first. It's going to give me 1. Add 3 to both sides. Divide by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Minus that is going to give me 1. √1 is equal to 1. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and add 5 to both sides, square both sides, so that's 169, right? And then I'm going to subtract that. That's going to go ahead and work. That's going to give me √169, 13, 13 minus 5, 8. That works. Oh, still trying to get rid of this cold. Holy cow. I'm going to raise both sides to the 3rd power. So 2 to the 3rd is 8. Subtract 5. That's 3. 3rd root of 8 is 2. 2 equals 2. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 4 from both sides. Raise both sides to the 3rd power. That's -8. So add 8 or add 3 to both sides. So 3rd root, that's going to give me -2 plus 4. Yep, that works. Number 5, I'm going to go ahead and square both sides. That's +16. Subtract, I get 14. 14 plus 2 is 16. Square root of 16 is 4. 4 is not equal to -4, so that does not work. That's an extraneous solution. We're going to add 8 or subtract 8 from both sides first. And cube both sides. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. So that's going to give me -31. Divide each side by 6. And a little hint, you're normally not going to get an extraneous solution that is a fraction, not in this class. Okay, we're going to add 3 to both sides first. Divide by 2. Oops, I don't know why. It's supposed to be an x, sorry. Square both sides, so x is equal to 49. That's going to work out. If I plug 49 in, that's becomes 7, 14. Yep, works. Square both sides here. We're going to go ahead and subtract 1. Divide by 2. And we'll check it. 2 times 40 is 80. 80 plus 1 is 81. Square root of 81 is 9. That works. Let's square both sides here. It's going to give me 3y and 2y plus 6. I'm going to subtract 2y from both sides. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. So 5, that's 15, 16, yep. That's 16. Root 16 equals root 16. That works. Square both sides here. We're going to add x to both sides. We're going to add 8 to both sides. Divide each side by 2. That's 17. That's going to give me 9. That's going to also give me 9. Works. Square both sides here. So 12 minus 2x is equal to 2x. Add 2x to both sides. Divide by 4. So 2 minus 6 is 6. And 6, yep, that works. Okay, on this one, we have to be careful. I'm going to need to put that in parentheses. So square both sides. So I'm going to get 4, and then g minus 1, and then 3g minus 1. Distribute the 4. Subtract 3g. Add 4 to both sides. And that 3 minus 1 is root 2. Okay, that works. Right, so that'll be your homework worked out. We will cover RAD 8. We will have a quiz at the end of the week, or a test at the end of the week. Have a nice day, everybody. Bye.